Welcome to another video. Today we're going over every figure in my collection that will be turned into a Nexus member at one point or another. Let's get into it. Just some rules for what applies to a Nexus member. You have to be unrecognized talent. You might be saying, oh, but you have Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan in your collection and they both won championships. Well, that is correct, but this is Husky Harris, not Bray Wyatt or The Fiend, and this is 2010 Daniel Bryan, whose greatest accomplishment was US champion at the time. So, everyone here was mistreated in some way. You might be saying, oh, you have Jinder Mahal in your collection, he was just champion recently. Well, this is old Jinder Mahal. This is not 2019 Jinder Mahal. His appearance has been altered to replicate his, or more suit his current appearance, but that is the 2012-2011 Jinder Mahal, the useless jobber mid-carder Jinder Mahal. He's just been transformed a little bit and tweaked to make him look more current. I want to make a few more announcements before we get on with this video. Our new tag team champions are Randy Orton and Batista. It is no longer Kane and Daniel Bryan. It is now Randy Orton and Batista. Swapped out Neville's gray small knee pads and put them on my Series 1 Edge Elite figure because he was missing knee pads. Those are the changes that have been made in the past couple of days. Now let's get on to the actual video. All the members of the main roster that will be turned into Nexus members starting now. Just a quick note, these are in highest priority will be number 1, second highest priority number 2. So that being said, number 1 is David Hart Smith. If you did not know, David Hart Smith was in the Nexus until very recently when Damien Sandow took his place. But he is in the number 1, he's the number 1 contender for being added to the Nexus. Number 2 we have Tyson Kidd. Much like David Hart Smith, they will be the first tag team in the Nexus. Tyson Kidd is number 2, so after I'm done with David Hart Smith and find an arm for him on eBay or wherever, Tyson Kidd will be next. Third we have Neville. Neville is was a mid-carder. He got fired and is now somewhere else, but I will get a Justin Gabriel arm or a Heath Slater arm, remove this piece and put a Nexus armband on him. Our fourth figure is Rusev. Rusev will go into the Nexus eventually. I don't know how I'm going to do this because his arms are very beefy. He's got those Brock Lesnar arms. So I might do it like how I did Ezekiel Jackson, because Ezekiel Jackson also has the Brock Lesnar arms, only they're different skin tone. So I might take a Skip Sheffield arm and kind of wedge it in there, or I might just take both of Skip Sheffield's arms all together and put all the arms on so that he has the elbow pads and the wrist tape, etc., etc. And I think that might really tie the figure together, so I think that might be what I do. So the next Skip Sheffield arm I get will be used on this Rusev figure. We have Antonio Cesaro. I will put knee pads on this figure. I will either use the white knee pads from this Damien Sandow figure that I'm going to sell because I got that way better version up there, or I will use just plain black knee pads that are on the most of the figures. And then I'll change the arms out with either white wrist tape or black wrist tape. Have not decided yet. I might change out the boots too. Again, haven't decided yet, but Antonio Cesaro, not Cesaro, this is like the 2012-2013 Antonio Cesaro version. This is not Cesaro. So Antonio Cesaro will be on the Nexus eventually. Here we have the Chris Jericho figure. I know what you're saying, Chris Jericho's, you know, he's been WWE champion. That is true. But this is the, like, 2010 Jericho when he was, like, Raw Tag Team Champions with Big Show. So, not really a huge accomplishment right there. And I know his championship reigns have come before that when he was in WCW or in early 2000s in the WWE, but he will be one of the leaders if he ever does get in the Nexus, which he will, obviously, because I put him on this list. So Chris Jericho, the crappy 2010 Chris Jericho, will be in the Nexus. Next we have Shelton Benjamin. He would be higher on the list if there was a African-American Nexus member who wasn't Michael Tarver, because as you can see, those beef Michael Tarver arms will never fit on Shelton Benjamin. They make him look terrible. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to get a Heath Slater or Justin Gabriel arm and paint it this dark brown, and hopefully I get it to match enough. That doesn't seem like much fun to do, and if I mess up, I'm kind of stuck with it. And if I Mod Podge it and it's not right, I can't go back. So that would be very, very unpleasant. So, and then, because then I would have just wasted a Nexus arm, which costs $10 each to get. So, Shelton Benjamin will eventually probably happen. I just don't know when or how I will do that. And last but not least, we have The Miz. This is my Nexus Miz. I have another Miz here somewhere. This is my main roster Miz right here, and this will be my Nexus Miz. This one is the crappier version, but it also does have the red and the black. This one is my main roster Miz, who is currently in a tag team with Chris Jericho, but they have not been champions yet. Their match for the championship, they will go against Randy Orton and Batista, and it's kind of cool because all their colors match. So maybe they'll form an alliance or something. I'm getting off topic, but this Miz will be in the Nexus eventually. Same deal as Jericho, but Miz has been champion twice. Honestly, it's my figures. I can do what I want, so your comments are irrelevant. So the Miz will be in the Nexus. Maybe not this figure. I might buy another Miz figure, because Miz basics are like $4 each on eBay, because Miz is terrible and he has so many awful figures. But yeah, a Miz will be in the Nexus eventually. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this because I've actually run out of space on here, and I really don't want to start putting them like right here, because then you can't see the people in the back. So I'm gonna have to figure out something real soon. I might get like a double-decker action figure stand from somewhere, so that these guys sit up high, kind of like those guys in the back, so I can put more in the front. But I'll figure something out like that. But until next time, this Rusev was a custom. I took the Mark Henry knee pads and shoes on and put them on this Rusev. He has also gained quite a bit of height. He's about as tall as my Undertaker figure now, which is kind of insane because Rusev is not 7 feet tall. He's more like, you know, ferocious now. So there's that. So there you go. There are all of the Nexus figures to be. We have the real members in the back, and then we have the members that aren't in the Nexus yet in descending order of likelihood. So that means David Hart Smith will be the first one to go, etc. I've already said that, but I'm just going to say it again in case you forget or something like that. So there is the complete Nexus on my channel. Thanks for watching. More videos are coming soon to this channel. I think MVP will probably be our next figure review, so stay tuned for that.